cannot believe I just finished. I'm not even kidding you. This within the last 5 minutes, I just finished my December daily for 2017. And I'm excited because I wanted to do this video before actually, you know, December got here. So hopefully I'll have enough time to show you how I'm working and how I'm preparing for this year's December daily. So I gotta try and make this quick. I don't want to make it too long. It's been raining all day and the light, it's been kind of weird, but right this minute the sun is out, so hopefully the lighting will be great. So here we go. I'm gonna jump right in because again, I don't want to make this too long. First of all, the album is a 6x8 and it is by Felicity Jane. I loved it. It was very simple, and I'm still debating if I'm going to have something on the cover. Sometimes, I mean, I love it. I would love to do something, but when you stand them up and you put them up against something else, like for example, let's say this is the one I'm going to be using for this year. If I put them like this, you know, back to back along with anything else, sometimes I think this is gonna, you know, something's gonna get damaged. So that's why I'm still thinking about whether I want to do something to the cover or not. Same with this one. This one, it's even more plain. But again, I think I do want to make a cover for this one since it's a little bit more plain. This one, I think it's pretty just as is. So anyways, I will decide, and if I do, I will make sure to post photos. So here we go. Because this was last year, I'm hoping that I can remember everything that I use product wise. So I'll do my best to add any links to any products, and obviously if you have any questions about any products that maybe I don't talk about, you let me know. So this page here came as part of the Alie Edwards entire kit for December daily for last year. And last year I did buy the kit. This year I am not buying a kit. I'm sorry, I'm lying. I'm not buying a physical kit. I did buy a digital kit, which after getting it, I've kind of got, I kind of regretted it. Not in the sense of it wasn't a good one. It's just the fact that obviously I bought it, and even though I did buy it on sale at half price because it was Cyber Monday, I still had to pay to get the items printed. I guess I'll talk more about that when I do a video on how I'm prepping for this year. So I'm just gonna talk about that in the next video. So this year I did buy a kit by Alie Edwards, and then I combined it with a couple of other things. I did also get from Alie Edwards a kit that was made by Purkey. So they were different colors, so I wasn't too happy about that. So again, this was my first year doing December daily, and I have learned a lot, and I promise you this year things will be a little different. So one of the things she talks about when you get started with this project is what is the whole season, what does it mean to you, what does Christmas mean to you. So I did write a little something about it, about what I, you know, feel about, how I feel about the holidays. And I printed it on vellum. So I typed it on my computer, printed it on vellum, and then just glued it onto the page. The kit came with pages by Alie Edwards. So some of them that you will see here were part of the kit. This little thing here actually was a flap that came from the box itself. The box that came as part of the kits, it had this little flap. So I took it, I cut it, I added some washi tape to decorate it, and then punched the holes and put it in here. I guess I could put the year here, December daily 2017. This right here is a, I'm gonna say ribbon, because it was like a long, very long piece and it kept repeating. and I don't even know where I got it from. I want to say it was from a yard sale or a thrift store, so there wasn't a lot. But if I could find more, I would absolutely buy an entire spool for it. You know what? I might go on the hunt for that. But anyways, that's where that came from, and you'll see that I've cut it apart and used it throughout the book. Now this calendar here, which I'm gonna repeat again this year, I'm gonna add a calendar at the beginning of the book. I actually created this digitally, and if you know, if you wanted it, it's too late now, unless you can kind of cover that up. It is a freebie in my blog. If I have time, I will try and make a new one for this year. But to be honest, I got a new one, and it is by Stich in Time. And it's so pretty that that's probably why I might not end up making one, because I already got one. Here it is. Isn't it so beautiful? And because it's blank, I can, you know, adapt it to whatever year. I can put 2018 here, so 2018, and then I can date it. So if you want a copy of this, she has actually several designs. I chose this one. I will put a link to her blog so you guys can go check that out. She does have amazing, I mean, I cannot stress it enough, amazing December dailies albums that she's been doing for years. And so I'm going to be referring back to her blog if I get stuck or I need inspiration. But she is amazing. I can't remember her name. I know the blog is A Stich in Time. I'm sure a lot of you might know her. Anyway, so that's, I decided to add the calendar, and I added a few things here that I knew were going to be going on for the month. And you can just fill it in as things come up. Sometimes we don't know that we're gonna get an invitation to something or somewhere, and maybe it's not on your calendar. You can go ahead and add it as you go, you know, so that's gonna come in handy. And then here we go. This is the journaling cards were from the kit, and then some little embellishments were also part of the kit, as well as other random things that I had at home, and also part of the Kelly Purkey kit. Some photos, obviously I coach my husband and my children to pose so I can take the photos. But, you know, my son, my youngest, he always wants to put the star on the Christmas tree. So I made sure that I took a shot of that. I altered the color because, you know, in order to see the lights, you have to take it at night. And sometimes that can make your photos look yellow, a yellow tint, and I don't like that. So I turned down the saturation on this photo, so that's why the colors are more almost towards the black and white. So that's a tip for, you know, to tell you, to share with you. So here you can see the actual color of the tree. You can see that the ornaments are chartreuse, which is one of my favorite colors, and turquoise, which is another favorite color. This looks more blue here, but anyway, so you can see the difference on those two there. Because I came back just this month in November to finish the book, I didn't have a lot of journaling done, which I completed it. And so you'll see some things are super decorated and other things are not, because I just went simple. And that's one of the tips that I would give to you for this year. Is to go simple. I think I can go into more detail on my next video when I show you how I'm going to set up this year's album, but there is a couple of things that I talked about on Instagram that I am going to be implementing this year to hopefully help me be a finisher, not just a starter. I know you've heard me talk about this before. We all tend to start projects and then something happens, we get sidetracked, or other projects come and we don't finish them. So it was my goal to finish this album because I wanted to show you that yes, you can. It took me an entire year, but really I worked on this album in December of last year, maybe a little bit after, and then just now. So if we talk about time, it really only took me roughly 2 months to put this album together. The other time in between, I never touched it. So it is possible to finish the book, and again, I will go into more detail on some ideas that I have that will help me simplify my process for this year. But one of them is keep it simple. And in the end, this November, that's how I went. So some things you'll see that are more detailed, I spend more time on them. And then others, I went simple because I needed to get it done. So I had an idea to have this tag, something like this, throughout the book. Kinda, not that. I started making these tags. And the idea was to have one for each day. The numbers are corked, but as I added all these, and they're not all finished, the book got really big and really chunky. And as it is, without those, I guess it would hold them, but I decided against them, and I'm kind of bummed because I really love this idea. I wanted to write down, for example, on December 1st, this is the one I would have right here. And if there was anything happening that day, I could write it here. So for example, that's my sister's birthday and couple of other little things that happened that day. So, but again, I decided against it. So if you did see some, photos or me talking about those tags, they were taken out because they were going to make the book too chunky. So instead, I decided to add numbers on certain photos, and that would be my, an indication that that's when that happened. So this is the first, December 1st, and only certain photos have those. But again, I'll probably be using a different numbering or dating system this year. Again, this is just kind of easy, some photos. And to be honest, some of them are not in sequence. And you know what? I am okay with that. I am no longer worrying about the little details like that. But with that being said, this year, I'm going to be better at keeping things in some sort of order when it comes to the dates. But I only did that here only a few times because, again, I just wanted to get the book done, and I am happy. It's been documented. The photos are in here. The photos I protected, and the book is done, and it does feel great. So here's a photo that I took when I was making the tags. And then this is one of the papers that came part of the kit. And then I just cut this with my Cricut. A few of the things here you'll see I've used that machine a lot to create embellishments for the large pages such as this one here. These little stars I just punch with a puncher, a little punch, a star punch, and they're little glitter paper. Sometimes, and I think I'm going to definitely be doing that a lot more in this album, is I want to have pages like this where it is one page. And as you saw, the book I'm going to be using this year is also a 6x8. So I'm going to be doing a junk journal / pocket page album, where I'm only going to have a few of these pages and a lot more of loose sheets like this here. So this one's in a pocket. For this new album, I'm not going to put them in a pocket. I'll just punch the holes on the pages themselves. This is one of my favorite ornaments. It's actually, I love globes. I always say this wrong. And this one, it's huge. It's huge. And I paid, I think, $5 at a yard sale, and it was it had been leaking, so the water was leaking. So I took it apart, I filled it up again, and I fixed it, and it plays music, and the little light inside there lights up, and it's just one of my favorites. And I have a collection of globes, and I'm sure you'll see some of the photos this year, because obviously I got a couple more between last year and now. So that's it, just a few embellishments from some of the kits. I think this is probably one of the few pages where I've actually, what I'm calling a scrapbooked an actual photo. I love this type of page. It has 12 pockets, small pockets. And so what I did is I went around the house and I took photos of different my different decorations, some of my favorite things. I actually had a class about 3 years ago where we made this little snowman box type thing, and with my mom friends, not my mom's friends, they're my friends, but they're all moms. From when the kids went to elementary, we became really good friends. And so anyways, that's what that is. Some these are actually small nutcrackers that nutcrackers, right, that I found. And again, just random photos of different things that I've purchased, just collected throughout the years. And there's a little story behind each one, and so I wrote that on the back and decorated. Actually, these cards, I made them digitally and then printed them, because this is the kit actually. These little images that you see here, this is the kit that I'm going to be using this year. Because it's digital, you can create digital items and then just print them on your printer and use them up. So you will get to see a lot more when, again, I do the other video. So this is a pocket that I created. I don't think this paper was I'm not sure. I don't think it was part of the kit, but I made 2 tags, one for each of my kids, for them to write a Christmas list on the back. And so that's where those are. And I'm definitely going to be repeating this year because I like that a lot. This I made with my Cricut machine. I actually designed it myself, meaning I grabbed several stars, resized them, rearranged them in the shape, and I welded them together and then printed them, or I'm sorry, cut them with my Cricut machine. So that's where that came from. Just different photos and different journaling cards that came as part of the kit. I love enlarging photos like this one of my youngest. He was putting an ornament, you know, on the Christmas tree, and then I just added these Joy Puffy stickers. When you have a large, you know, pocket like this one, you know, I don't want to print a lot of large photos. Not all the photos can't blow up this nice. So instead, I just, again, with the Cricut, I found this ornament, and then I cut it in half, spread it out, and then again with the Cricut, cut the word cheers and glued it in the middle. And this is, again, just random journaling cards. This is an actual is it stuck? It's a transparency. I'm trying to get it so you can see, but it's actually 2. That's why it's kind of tight. So that's a transparency, and then I put it on top of another journal card so you can actually see it. And then choose other photos that I've taken, more photos, more journaling. I made this little shaker, whatever. It's not a box, but it's a shaker envelope, which is some sequins. And I cut a Christmas tree with the Cricut out of vellum, so you can kind of see it there, just to add a little something fun to the album. This is our Christmas card from last year, and so always remember to include your Christmas card. I have all the cards, and you'll see in here I've added more cards because I keep every single card from friends and family, and obviously our own. Just again, more photos, some selfies, anything that was going on in December, I tried to grab a photo of it. That's another tip that I can give you for this year is take at least 2 to 3 photos a day. It's better to have extra photos than not have enough. And that way you will be able to choose which ones will work for your book. Now, if there's a special event happening, like you guys, let's say, went to look at Christmas lights, then, you know, obviously save the photos for that day and take several photos of that specific event. But if there's nothing going on during the day, if you just nothing special, or you know, everything is special actually. This photo here, my son, his computer was glitching or something, so him and my husband decided to take it apart and figure out what was happening, and so I took a shot of that. And this one, you know, my son and I, my little one, he always likes to pose with me and get cozy with me, and so I always take advantage of that. Not all your photos have to be of what's happening on the day. Sorry, that's my door getting open if you hear that beeping. So this is, obviously we know who this is, and if you have favorite things that are going on during the holidays, you certainly can add them to your album. I love this movie, so that's what I wanted to put a photo of that in here. Oh, the other thing I was gonna say, and you'll see, you haven't seen, oh, there's no, I don't think there's any horizontal 4x6 photos, and that's another thing why I feel that having a type of pages where you can add photos like this, just a loose page, it's good, because then you're not constricted about, well, my photos all have to be 4x3, right? But with that being said, remember to take photos horizontally. We tend to use our phones and just take photos in a vertical way, and then you get stuck with photos like this. And so if you wanted to print some that are the actual 4x6, then it's very hard. It distorts the photo and you miss a lot of the best parts of the photos because you're having to rearrange the size. So don't forget to take horizontal photos, not just vertical, because then you get stuck, unless that's the only way you want to. If you're only going to use this type of page, then don't worry about it. But if you are going to use pages where you, like this one here, where the bottom is one single piece, then you got to remember to take photos with your phone horizontally. So that's my other tip. Okay, this one here, just to be a little different, these cards, I belong to, or I am part of this, what I call a crafty group, and we get together once a month. And last year we were exchanging journaling cards, and we would have themes every month. And so there was 4 of us, so I would make 4 identical journal cards, and then we swap them out. So this is one that I made last year. It is a little bit bigger than the pocket, so I just stuck it on top. But I loved it. It came out so cute, and I wanted it to again be a part of this year's album. And then this is just a tag that I glued also on top. I love it when the albums have things sticking out. They're just fun. So whenever I add tags, which you all know how much I love my tags, I always have to add a little string or something on top. This is another photo of our Christmas tree, but the difference between this one is that I printed it on vellum, and oh my goodness, I can almost take it off. But I wanted you to see that it's a vellum piece of paper, and it worked well. So that's another tip, something to experiment with. You can print your photos on vellum, and it actually works. And my printer is just a regular inkjet printer. Just a few more photos of just some fun things that I pose here. Those are my toes. Another little what is this called when you put things together? Oh my goodness. I can think of the word, but it's when you a display, let's just call it that. It's a French word and I can't think of it right now. But anyways, just more photos, more journaling, things that we did. This was something that somebody gave me as a little gift to make the house smell good. Star Wars came out on December 15th, so we went to see it. And more photos just of that day. My son was invited to a birthday party on December 16th, and that's what that's about. Just more random photos. You can see that there's not a lot of decorating going on. I just put the photo in. I did one journaling. I try to do journaling per page, and then just some decorative journaling cards. Same thing here, just 2 large journaling cards, just again to get my book done. Same deal here, photos. And this is another pocket, and this is a letter that my son wrote with more things that he wanted for Christmas, so I put that there. I added some gold reinforcers. I don't know what to call them, tag reinforcers. So that's what those are. I actually did this page today. This was one of those that was empty, and I didn't want to leave it empty. So here is another little piece of that ribbon, whatever thing that I was telling you about. And this is, I love it when things just work out without me even planning. Sorry about that, I made a noise there. I just wanted to open the window so I can get more light here. So I wanted to cover this page or add something pretty. So this wreath and the gold bow I cut with the Cricut machine, just a couple of stickers, and I added that ribbon. But here's the fun part. So I had so many of 4x3 cards and not enough 4x6 cards. So what I did is I cut. So this one right here, it's another one that is a 4x6. So you can see there's a 4x6 here and another 4x6 at the bottom. And so what I did is, this one was, it had 2 of these smaller pockets here and 1 big one, and so I just cut it because I didn't have another photo, and I thought, why not? So I cut it, and I left this section here, and I added some washi tape to cover it, and it looks fine. But here's the fun part, and I didn't even try to do it, just turned out like this. So as I turned the page, this is a photo that this guy, he's a realtor here in our city, and every year he rents this thing, and he puts on a Santa Claus outfit and drives in the neighborhood. And my son always walks out, and we always take a photo with him, and so that it worked out that it says ho ho ho, obviously related to Santa Claus. So I thought that was kind of neat, and I didn't even plan it. More photos. Again, here is what why I was telling you about, don't forget to take photos that are horizontal. So I didn't have more horizontal photos that I can print, but I had tons of these vertical ones, and those you can obviously resize them into 4x3s. And what I did, since I had this page here, I just use a 4x6 card, and then I glued a smaller photo on the top, and then left the right side for journaling. And then I did the same on this one here, just reverse the order. And so that was a way that I could actually use this 4x6 space, even though I was using the smaller photos. The reason why I had the space is because this page here, I had photos for this side, but not for that side. So this is a day where my family, my nieces and my sister and my nephew, we got together and we made tamales. And this is a new tradition. This was, last year was the first time we did that, and we're gonna do it again this year, and I'm excited about that. Same deal, you can see there's not a lot of decorations, just photos, a couple of them that have dates. and some journaling cards, more same deal. This big huge tag, which I absolutely love, was part of the kit, I think. See, I forget. I know it was part of the kit because I don't think I have a punch that can punch that size of a hole there. So, but I did create a template because I wanted to make more, and I'm definitely going to add more in this year's album. So I just decorated it with some paper. This is not washi tape, it's actually paper, and I use stickles. Yeah, that's what they're called. Of course, I forgot. So this, I just ran a little bead of stickles, and make sure you let it dry because obviously it's glue. And that's how I decorated that. On the back, I just went simple. I had this sticker. I put a little star that came part of some other kits that I had, and a little sign over here. And I had this empty page here. And I went through my Christmas cards. You know, people send you Christmas cards every year, and I just love this card so much. And so I cut it, and then I just put the front part of it in here, because again, I love the image. I think it was sent to us by, I don't know, the city, someone that we're not really, you know, friends with, but I love the image, so I added that there. Over here on this side, I went crazy and I cut this very intricate thing. It actually printed it first, the darkest printed, and then it cut like 2 or 3 layers. And this again was from my Cricut. Celebrate around the home. Again, simple, just photos, some journaling cards. Same deal back here. I wanted to add this, we're coming to the end. Obviously, this is towards December 25th. And I love that photo of my youngest. He, again, doesn't care about photos and selfies or anything like that. And he always likes to pose with me. So that's what that photo is. And our dog wearing his little booties. And this is an app that I used. And I think it's called Recolor. Of course, I can't remember. But it's an app that turns your photos black and white, and whatever part of the photo you want to have color, you basically erase the black and white layer on top, and then it reveals the color that's underneath. And so these little booties were red. So that's how that was made. So it is an actual app that you can get on your phone. It's a really cool trick for, you know, something like that. I'm sure there's certain types of photos that where this type of technique works really well. So again, I enlarged this photo. This is my whole family celebrating on Christmas Day, and I added a little bit of ribbon and I can't remember. What is this zigzag called? I swear when I'm on video, everything goes out the window and I don't remember what anything is called. No, it's not Rick Rack. I don't know, but you know, it's ribbon. I have lots of it, and so I was glad that I was able to add a little bit onto this photo. And here is another card that I had received, and this was, it's an actual old card, but I was gonna cut the image, and then I realized that it was a very special card. It was made for me or given to me in 2011, and this is when my youngest son was in 5th grade, and I was the room parent, and his teacher gave me this card. So I taped it because I had cut it, and I go, no, I can't get rid of it. So I taped it with washi tape. So I'm gonna keep it. I know it's old, but look, it's better that's in here than just sitting in some box where I might not come across it. So hey, you know, I think it's important. It doesn't, just because it wasn't given to me in 2018 or 17, it doesn't matter. A couple more pictures. This is during actual Christmas Day, but at night. I love these photos. I actually made a class project for Big Pictures classes where I work with this thing here is a whole series of photos of my sister, and I'm being so goofy. So we started nice and proper, and then we started getting silly, and my niece was just snapping photos. That's an awesome way to capture a lot of photos, especially for a very what I'm calling a candid moment like this, where my sister and I were just, you know, being so silly. So there is nice and there is naughty with a little bit of journaling. I added a tag here for December 25th, and then just more photos. That's another acetate, I'm gonna say acetate card because it's kind of thick. And a few more here at the, actually that's it. This is the end of the book. I wanted to add several photos of Christmas Day because, you know, obviously there's a lot of photo ups. So these, from here on, it's pretty much everything is for December 25th. So that, and I have tons more of those photos, but, you know, I think these ones will work well. And one more there, and then this, we went to visit my husband's stepfather up at the Current River, which you've seen photos of that. And so that's, these last two photos are where we went to see them up there. And that's it, you guys. I did it. My book is done. I am so very happy that it is done. So I hope that you will find inspiration and don't lose the motivation to finish your book. Even if you do one page, one side a day, that is still progress. So I hope that you find inspiration to finish your book. Maybe work on both of them at the same time. I don't know. That seems like you're adding a lot more work, but hey, you know what? If it gets you to get your book done, why not? For me, I have a lot of projects going on with being part of creative teams. I think that if I was not a part of the creative teams, I would only work on this project, only on this one for the entire month. But that is not the case for me. So I will do the best that I can to continue in showing you, and hopefully you will find inspiration to get your book done. If not, get a new one started this year. And that's it. We'll go from there. So I hope to have another video soon showing you how I'm going to be setting up the new one. This will be my 2018. I have one page done already. I cannot believe that. You saw there is a video here on my YouTube channel, and I'll try and link it here. That shows you how I made this, and these are straws. They're by Webster's Pages, and I created that using straws. And that's it. That's all I have so far, but I will hope to have more for you soon, maybe next week, because this coming Saturday is December 1st, so I gotta get going. So again, thank you so much. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll try and do my best to answer them. And good luck to us all so that we can get another book done. So you guys, I hope that you take the chance and the time to get your crafty on in your December daily today, because you'll be happy when you are done. So go get it. So until next time, take care. Bye.